What's up YouTube, Dave for wargames, bringing you another one of our Christmas rundowns, and this time it is Noble Knights. Now my advice for Noble Knights for all you guys out there is grab them while you can. So, Madrot, the main card on the top, will be the hardest one to get hold of, especially if you want it in secret rare. Now, with the news that the Vrain's Link Pack is not coming out as an individual set for us, and that each Link monster will be dribbled out throughout the sets, our next ones that we're going to be getting is an ultra rare Noble Knight Link monster, and that comes out in Extreme Forces. On top of that, it does mean that Madrot will not be getting an easier reprint. So, while you can, pick these cards up. Noble Knights are a fan favourite for everyone around. It's obviously based on the legendary knights, obviously King Arthur and stuff like that, Excalibur. So they're always going to be a nice fun art type to pick up. You can pick it up, obviously, as you can see, in platinum rare very, very cheaply. Madrots are around £4, so this is a budget version. This is why there's no ashes in there, there's no Regekis, and there's stuff like that, all put on a bit of a budget. So pick this deck up as cheap as you can, probably around about £50. Then you're ready for when the Link monster drops. Yes, the Link monster is quite nice and generic for warrior type decks, but of course you want it for your Noble Knights. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to take you straight through the deck profile and show you what we've got. So, we start off with triple Noble Knight Madrot. Now, the reason this is the hardest card to get hold of, or the most expensive card to get hold of, is because he is your core monster. When this card becomes a dark monster and its level is increased by 1, but then once per turn, if you control no other monsters, you get to special summon a Noble Knight monster from your deck in defense position except itself. So here's how you get into your rank 4s, maybe even rank 5 plays, which is why you play him at 3. Triple Noble Knight Boars. Now, obviously, when we get the new Link monster, Boars becomes less relevant, so you can drop him down to 2. But for now, play him at 3. He shouldn't be too much to get hold of. In platinum, about £1. Triple Merlin. Now, you can only get Merlin in platinum, and it should only cost you a couple of quid. Merlin is your one card kind of combo setter, because you can tribute Merlin off and go into your Madrot, and that's kind of how the combo plays off. You normal summon your Merlin, you use Merlin's effect to get into your Madrot, you then obviously use Madrot's effect to get your Boars out, and you kind of move your plays around that way. We played 2 Guinevere, Queen of Noble Arms. Now again, you can get this in secret if you want to rarity bump it in platinum. Again, it shouldn't cost you too much. The artwork is very, very beautiful on this card, and its effect is very, very good as well. It is treated as an equipped monster, basically, and you get to equip it to a Noble Knight from your hand or graveyard, I believe. So it's very, very cool and helps synergy. Double Noble Knight Brothers. Now you can get this as a original secret, or you can get it as a Mega Pack 15 reprint. Again, it is very, very important because you basically, if you control exactly 3 Noble Knight monsters and no other monsters, when this card is normal summoned, you get to special summon up to 2 Noble Knight monsters from your hand. But you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn except Noble Knight monsters. And then once per turn, you get to target 3 Noble Knight or Noble Arm cards in your graveyard, shuffle 3 into the deck and draw 1. So he's a nice little Daigusto Emerald as well. Obviously, his requirements are a bit specific, which is why we only play him at 2. I play the 1 Noble Knight Guion. Now, the reason I've only got the 1 of this is because A, I can only find 1, and B, he's still very, very useful to kind of have. So if you can get him at more than 1, sorry, pick him up. Basically, if you control a light normal monster, you special summon this card from your hand in defense position. Now, all of these monsters are considered light, well, your Noble Knight Boars and your Noble Knight Madrot are considered light normal monsters until they're equipped with an equip card. So he can kind of help combo off very, very nicely by dropping off, you know, if you've got your Madrot on board, you then get to special summon this guy out before you equip Madrot with anything, equip Madrot with something, get yourself a Boars, and then of course you've got your brothers that can continue going off from there, or of course you can search your brothers out. Now for the cheaper hand trap option, we've got triple Ghost Ogre and the single Maxi. Ghost Ogre is still incredibly useful and powerful in this deck, but on top of that, of course, it can also help move your hand trap plays and deal with your opponent. Yes, you can bump this up into Ashes if you wish, but Ghost Ogre is a cheaper option right now. And of course, we will be getting Drawn on Lockbird reprints coming in the Kyber set in March, I believe it is, so keep them in mind as well. Now for the spells, we play triple Scapegoat. This helps get you into your Link monsters like Messias Radiant, but obviously what you do have to bear in mind is it then neuters some of your effects on your monsters. However, Scapegoat can then be used as defensive material, or of course you could bump up into a Firewall if you wanted to put more money into the deck. Common Scapegoat shouldn't cost you too much, 50p's to £1. Double last chapter of the Noble Knights. This is kind of like a later game kind of play move, which is why it is only played at 2. Next up for the Noble Arms, we play double Excalibur. Again, you don't really need to play 3 of any of these because they're searchable and recyclable. Double Destiny, double Caliburn, 1 of the Dark Noble Arms and 1 of the Gatalan. Now, obviously, they all have their own effects. You should all know what Noble Knights do by now and what all their equipped spells do. But they're very, very important, especially when the new Link monster comes out. You might want to bump these up if you want to, because it can help get you consistency going. But of course, in Platinums, they shouldn't cost you too much, about 50p each. Double Pot of Desires, because you play multiples of pretty much everything, the 2+ cards that you can draw could actually help extend your plays and move you further along in your plays, extending your board as well. 1 Soul Charge, the 1 Rhoda and the 1 Dark Hole alongside a 1 Upstart. Now obviously your Upstart turns your deck into a 39. This deck just needed a little bit more draw power to kind of get the deck moving. But on top of that, obviously your Dark Hole can be a Regeki if you wish. And of course you can play other engines in this, like the Brilliant Fusion engine should you want to. But again, you then have to take into account stuff like Merlin's effect that kind of gets neutered or slowed down by that. Our final traps is the 1 Solemn Warning and 2 Solemn Strikes. And obviously this is probably the most, next to Madrot, is probably the most expensive individual card along with Ghost Ogre. They're about 5 each, but they're still very, very powerful. You don't have to play strikes if you don't want to. You can take them out for like Stormy Mirror Force, Quaking Mirror Force and stuff like that. But it still gives you the ability of disrupting your opponent's link plays, especially if you've got a Scapegoat ready as well. You can disrupt your opponent's plays, set your Scapegoat, because there's not many cards that actually have piercing nowadays in the meta. Scapegoats can protect you a little bit, and as long as you're left with 2 tokens, you move yourself into a Messias Radiant on your next turn. So that's it for the main deck. Now on to the extra deck. We play 2 Arcturus, the Noble Knight, King of the Noble Knight, sorry. Again, I'm only playing 2 of him because I want to play a nice mixture of other rank 4s as well and give me a few options. So we're playing 2 of the level 5s Sacred Noble Knight King. Again, these are both very, very important in the deck. However, what I want to try and do is add a bit more diversity in the extra deck so you can kind of work around a few more other cards. So your Baguska, if you've got a slower turn going, you just need to stall your opponent out. Or Tornado Dragon if they're very heavy back row players. And then your Utopia, the package, again, Utopia can deal with quite a lot of issues. A small Synchro Engine, should you normal summon a Ghost Ogre with one of your monsters. You've got a Clearwing, a Rose, and a Yazi. Now, obviously, Yazi is a nice 1-for-1. Black Roses have reset the board to go back again, and it kind of gives you those options to play. And then for our Link monsters, we play the 1 Messias Radiant that can be made with your Link tokens. Obviously, we've got a Link Spider that, again, can be made with your Scapegoat tokens, but can also be used for one of your Noble Knight monsters, as far as I know, because they're considered a normal monster before they're equipped with a equipped spell. So that's very, very cool and helpful. We've then got the 1 Deco Talker and the 1 Gaia Saber, the Lightning Shadow. Now, again, if you want to put more money into the extra deck, of course you could put stuff in like a like a Firewall Dragon and stuff like that, and more Link 4s. Of course, like Topological Bomber Dragon is an option as well. But for now, this is kind of all you really need, and it kind of gets the deck going. Again, when the new Link monster comes out, you could probably take out your Messias Radiant, you'll take out your 3 Scapegoats, you can take out your Link Spider, and straight away those 2 are going to become the new Link monster. Anyway, that is it for the Noble Knight deck profile. I hope this gives you a starter. So the whole idea is to provide you with a budget build that you can go and pick up now, whether you pick it up at your locals, whether you go and pay for it, any kind of investment you want to put into it. It will always be a fun deck because, especially if you like the whole archetype and the whole story behind them, it can be very, very good and intriguing. So it does give you a couple of options to move around and play with. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, the whole 9 yards. We are building up to our 2nd year anniversary, which is massive, and by God, will there be a massive, massive giveaway for you guys as well. And of course, it is Christmas in a few days' time, so keep your eyes out for that, because I have a very, very special video coming out on Christmas Day. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, guys, as always, happy dueling and a very Merry Christmas. If you like that video, why not check out our other videos available? We've got more deck profiles, pack openings, and of course duels. And don't forget to click on the most important button of all, that subscribe button, right in the bottom left hand corner.